snuck up on everybody.
Micro Halloween says hello.
Hello, Micro Halloween. Hello, Rodney Pope, Stanley S. Now sporting a Pelican picture. That's awesome. Michelle Schulte, Lisa Arendt, Misty, Larry, Linda, Finn Godwolf, Nathan Jones, HBK Styles, Joshua Howard, Chad Smith. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Yes, happy Hopsmas to everyone. Today was our Hopsmas. I'm going to admit I'm pretty beat. We are starting pretty late, but I'm going to at least get this guy hair tonight, and then I will figure out the rest. All right, so let's get this guy here. I grabbed some here, but I do have to grab another caulking gun. You know what? You're not plugged in yet. Let's go ahead and go on a field trip to get the caulking gun. Oh, I'm going right over here to this shelf. Not as far as I thought, but I do have to get some caulking. We will be in the other area. Okay. This is the pouring room. Overseeing all the operations in the pouring room is Godzilla and his brother Jim. So those two oversee most of the pouring operations here at Still P Studios. Silicone 1, I will use it. Okay. So I know that we want some long brown hair on here in order to make a beard and some other stuff. And it's just going to look nice on the Minotaur. First, have to get you guys plugged in.
Can you explain what Hopsmas is?
Okay, so Hopsmas, Labor Day weekend. How it started was in 2013. I was building Dark Hour Haunted House. Not just me, there's a bunch of people building Dark Hour Haunted House. But it took up all of my time. So barely saw my wife during that time period. I had a afternoon off, and I think I made time for an afternoon off to go and see my wife. And we decided to go see all the Halloween stuff in the stores. So we drove around. Posture's been terrible lately, and I'm trying to fix it. We drove around to all the stores and saw Halloween stuff, and that was Hopsmas. And ever since then, every year on Labor Day weekend, we'll take a day and drive around and see all the Halloween stuff and buy Halloween things. I bought a lot of stuff today for future Transformation Tuesday projects. So those projects are coming up. I don't know when Transformation Tuesday will happen. I might not even start until November, but I did get some stuff in order to transform. Right, but now I need to transform this semi-hairy Minotaur into a really hairy Minotaur.
Michelle is on, so if you have any questions
Oh,
for her.
great.
Michelle, stay close so that if there's any questions on
Stay close so I may bother you about stuff.
the details, he can ask you.
The only downside to using the poker on your gun is that if you are doing adhesives, you're going to glue it down to the gun. That's how it goes. Build up strong thumbnails. Okay. Want to stab? So silicone like this.
Michelle loves how it's cutting cloth.
I'm a fan too. We are so humid here. Teeth are still not ready to go. Nothing is drying, so we won't have any teeth in him today, but I hope to have the teeth in tomorrow. I'm going to leave them in the room under a fan. I didn't have them under a fan. Like, it's a tiny mold. It won't take that long. It's taking forever. So I have a bunch of brown hair, and I thought I would give a little bit of variance to kind of just make it look a little more natural. So yeah, I want to add some longer hair in here to blend in and around, and bring it probably up into here and give him a little beard so that we can do some beatos in there.
In your opinion, who had the best Halloween stuff?
Well, it's all different Halloween stuff, so it depends on what you're looking for. Like, let's say you're looking for Halloween glassware, then it's going to be, who had the best Halloween glassware?
Home Goods.
Home Goods. Home Goods has nice Halloween glassware. I bought the most at Spirit because I'm from the ghetto, and that's what I enjoy, you know. I like the cheap plastic Halloween stuff.
There was good stuff at home. And Lowe's.
Oh yeah, Lowe's had some good stuff too. Good skeletons at Lowe's.
Best Halloween, best Lowe's, best skeleton, I think. He said $29 Lowe's.
Well, Home Depot and Lowe's are kind of neck and neck as far as their skeletons. I think I prefer the paint on Home Depot skeletons a little better. So yeah, all those, we went to a bunch of places, but I bought some fun plasticky Halloween stuff at the at-home store. I also bought stuff there. Yeah.
I think Katie says it's funny how no one puts eyelashes on monster masks.
Well, that's not true at all. I put them on Karen. I put them on my female characters in order to make them stand out and to make them seem less masculine. So I do. I actually have a bunch of fake eyelashes over my eyeball drawer. You take that back! Yeah. I digress. That's me, full of dignity. Don't laugh, White. You married me. Yeah, I mean, it's rare. And why don't zombies have eyebrows? Like, what's up with that? When you get turned into a zombie, you lose your eyebrows? 1980s asking the hard questions, honey.
Jesse York says, paint on spirit skeletons looks pretty bad to me, in my opinion, but best I've seen is at Lowe's this year.
Well, see, here's the kicker, all right? Nothing is finished. Like, nothing survives me buying it for Halloween without a repaint. It just doesn't happen. I bought a beautiful axe from them, and I'm going to be honest with you, okay? Laying it down. The stuff at Spirit Halloween, it wasn't garbage. It wasn't terrible. I was looking at masks with the purpose of, I'm going to buy a crappy mask and then repaint it. And then I'm looking at them, and I'm like, you know what? These guys paint about as good as I do. So the masks aren't, what's bad about the mask isn't always the paint. Sometimes it's the paint, but sometimes it's the sculpt, and they don't care if there's a person inside of it. There's various and many reasons, but there's always room for improvement, or just a change-up. Just a change-up to make it more suitable to what you want. I got a couple things that I'm really excited to mess with at some point in time. I would be doing the messing with. I must scissors. Oh, scissors. I never know, like, do you want to see the table that I'm working on? Do you want to just see the mask? Is further away better? Is closer better? I never know.
Alright. Let's see, Dollar Tree is getting better stuff now. Took a trip to Dollar Tree and got some fun stuff. I'll be posting a couple of videos tomorrow. This is micro Halloween.
The Dollar Tree skulls are small, but they're not bad. Like, they're not bad skulls.
It looks so good. Good. Finn Goblin said, I love your story about buying eyelashes at Walmart, telling the lady no bigger, no bigger.
Yeah, I want the biggest eyelashes you got, lady. Because I gotta look fabulous.
Hey, Corey Watt. Larry Hughes says, would the hair set up like you're doing work for a Chewbacca?
It could, yes. Especially all the stuff around here. Most Chewbaccas are latch hooked on. They use a technique called latch hook. Are you making a Chewbacca costume? Because if you're making a Chewbacca costume, I think I could make your life way easier. Just let me know.
Jesse York says, I bought some eyeball ping pong balls at Spirit today. I don't remember if it was you I got the idea from.
I love those things. They're the best. I bought some of them today, but the other day I went to Spirit. I snuck there before the white came, and I bought a bunch. I love them.
Rodney Pope says, I bought the orange metallic mask you used for Spirit Halloween, thinking about using it for a burlap tied mask.
Cool. Do it.
Christy McKay says hello. Hello, Christy.
Hey, Christy.
Larry Hughes says, no, just the mask from an 8 mask I saw.
Oh, then yes, this hair technique will work great. And I would get hair that's at least, these are 10-inch lengths of hair wefts. I would at least get 10 inch.
Is that just silicone you're attaching to the hair with?
It is just silicone. Yeah, it's just silicone. Clear silicone caulking. You can use number 1 or number 2. It doesn't matter which one you use. I tend to use number 1 because that way I only buy one kind for the shop instead of buying one to make molds with and 2 to do hair with. I just buy silicone number 1.
What are your plans for the weekend now?
Work on stuff. Those are always my plans.
Orders?
Yeah, knock some orders out.
Alan, will my paint booth be effective if I put the fan at the top of it, or more effective if I move the paint fumes, or removing the paint fumes if mounted in the back?
It'll probably be more effective if you mount in the back. But if your fan is strong enough, either is fine. If your fan is strong enough, then either one is going to be perfectly fine.
Will you be doing any flocking?
Yes. Yeah, we're going to do the hair work, then we're going to do the flock work, and I'm going to put my finger down inside of one of the teeth and see if it's dry, and if it's dry, then we'll do the teeth work. But yeah, we'll be flocking him after we get the long hair on.
I hear people use silicone caulking for hair punishing latex masks. Won't that inhibit curing and not stick, or is it just to fill the small void by the needle?
Okay, so here's what you have to understand, all right? When you are punching hair into a latex mask, the latex is already cured. If you are using tin cure silicone caulking in a tube is, I almost just like silicone caulking, in a tube. That's going to be a video bite that lasts forever. But silicone caulking in a tube, way better. No. Silicone caulking in a tube is always tin cure silicone. Platinum cure silicone is what you have to worry about inhibiting the cure. And this is pretty much, this is not already cured, but it is suspended in a gel state in between uncured and cured. It's already mixed. You're waiting for the accelerant catalyst to evaporate off, and then this will cure and firm up into hard silicone. But still flexible, but not as flexible as platinum cure silicone. This is tin cure silicone. So there is no issue with this silicone curing right up against the latex, not a problem. And what it is they will normally put a little bit of, they will either scoop up some hair, put a little bit of silicone on it and punch it in, and then that acts as a little bit of a glue, but basically it just kind of dries the blob on the other side, so it kind of locks it in. Or they will go in after they punched all the hair, and there's all these little loops on the inside of the mask, and then they will paint that with the silicone to lock them in place, creating a mechanical bond.
Silicone caulking will stick to latex?
Silicone caulking will stick to latex, yes.
Hello, Mr. Renzo. 59 people are watching.
Hello, 59 people. I have a little bit of a funky hair extension here.
Because silicone caulking is tin and not flat, correct? That's
Correct.
what I understand.
Yes. Silicone caulking is tin cure silicone. Now, because it's tin cure silicone, it's not recommended for use up against people's skin. You shouldn't use it against someone's skin. Only platinum cure silicone should be used against the skin. So you have to kind of be aware of that. I do not like it being used with the method of locking it in on the inside, because then it's up against the person's skin.
Micro Halloween, how would you go about changing sound activated animatronic to motion or trigger activated?
Well, that's going to be a sensor. And the question you're asking is much better for Hall staff than it is for me. I would hack around in there until I identified what I might buy 2 of them and spend 1 on experiments. There's going to be a sensor that's wired in, and that's your trigger. And odds are really good you can just swap the sensor with something else. But I'm telling you, the wires in most pre-made animatronics are about as robust as a human hair. They are not hardy things. So just be aware of that.
Michelle asks, do you have a hair suit for the Minotaur, or what do you suggest?
Oh boy. I have a hair suit for the Minotaur. Why don't you tell me what you are planning on for this Minotaur, and then I will point you in the best possible direction.
Then Micro Halloween says, just New York. Pre-made animatronics are pretty hard to solder with those tiny wires.
Yes. Such tiny wires. Yeah, there's going to be a sensor, and I almost never solder them. That's a very good point. Thermoplastic to make it a wire to begin with. So if I take my junction and twist it all together and embed that in thermoplastic, hot glue is thermoplastic, then haven't I just made it the same way that they did as opposed to soldering? I think the hot glue, it holds pretty well for me. I haven't had an issue with it.
Enigma says you can always add a relay to the power cord and external module to trigger it.
Yeah, see, you're so complicated.
Michelle, regarding the Minotaur hair suit, there is a maze he will be in, low-level lighting.
Okay. I would not put him in a hair suit. I would put him in a cheapo muscle suit and do nice bracers for him and some monster gloves. I'd probably give claws, even though he probably shouldn't have claws, but I think claws look cool. And then cheap muscle shirt, a nice big scary belt, almost like a WWE type belt. Yeah, you could even go with have you heard of Zagone Studios? You could go with the Zagone Studios monster shirt and beast pants. That would work. And I would make him a loincloth that is attached to the belt. Loincloths are terribly comfortable. Yeah. I think he definitely needs a ring in his nose.
Michelle says, I love the screen now. So you might have to repeat that.
Okay.
Michelle?
Yes, the faux armor. I like the armor. I was going to do an armored Minotaur, but like a nice padded muscle shirt would be really nice. And they have some that are not that expensive. Pair it with some good monster gloves, because then you have hair like up to here, and then a muscly shirt, and you can see how much of the body, like this mask actually covers kind of down to here, so all that's covered.
Michelle got her feet went out. She said what she heard was about the belt and muscle suit claws.
Yeah, and that's, and then look up Beast Pants by Zagone Studios if you want to put him in some monstery pants.
Have you seen the Minotaur in the 1980s film Time Bandits?
Yes, I have.
Is there usually job openings in haunted houses for programmers to make animatronics and custom electronics, or not really?
Not really, because most haunted houses do not make their own. And that's going to be such a small part. Like, you should be able to program all of the animatronics for a haunted house. Let's say a big haunted house has 40 animatronics. You should be able to get all that programming done in 3 weeks. So you can't make that like a year-round job. You have to be a haunter who knows how to sweep, because sweeping always has to happen. And then the programming and the animatronic work, with that, learn how to weld. And then there's so many other projects that you can be doing. Get yourself a set of skills, because it's cool to go to a haunted house owner and say, you know what, for 1 month out of the year, you need an awesome actor trainer. That's me. That's 1 month covered. For 2 months out of the year, you need someone to just put together your costumes in all of the appropriate sizes and get the costumes ready for the show to be open. That's me. That's 3 months of work. You need a person who is able to update all the sounds on the animatronics and be able to check all the welds and fix all the welds. Oh, that's me. That's probably another 2 or 3 weeks worth of work. And then build a case as to why they need you on most of the haunted house owners that I worked for, they had another job, they had another business that they ran, and they pay me to do their haunted house stuff, because I know how to do it all. So put yourself in the position where you know how to do all those things, but you're not going to get a job as an animatronic programmer for a haunted house. Even the guys at like Universal, that's not the only thing that they do. You have to have a lot of tools in your toolbox. But you can make a comfortable living by keeping a lot of irons in the fire.
Alarod Gorilla says beast pants are an excellent choice, and gorilla shirts also good for me as well.
Yes, and they have them both in brown also.
Michelle says, I know he's putting the ring in the nose and doing some stuff on the horns. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And I'll probably do that tonight too.
Demon Fury from Distortions Unlimited is awesome, and I would get it if I had the money. This is Micro Halloween.
Yes.
Rob Gorilla says, BB Productions Fright Night Mansion has a crew of 30. We take about 2 months to set up each year.
Yep.
Spook Shack, another paint booth question. Is a duct fan strong enough for a top mount?
It'll help, but no, it's not strong enough. Does it get the stink out of the bathroom? No, it doesn't. So it's not gonna pull all of the vapors you need. I would get a nice box fan, get a nice box fan or a vortex fan. Even these little guys, they pull more than a duct fan does. So even one or two of these even come bigger. In my drying room, I've got 4 of the bigger versions of this.
Hello, Gregory Haynes. He says Minotaur's looking good.
He is looking good. I'm becoming happy with him.
68 people are watching.
Hello, 60 people.
Where did you get the hair that you were using?
The easiest place to get it is from a beauty supply store. And when I say beauty supply store, it also has to be a wig store. And you want them to sell hair weave things. What's great is that all of it comes on, it's all sewn together on a strip like this. And they're long strips. So yeah.
Hello, Ron Gorilla. Get a plastic bullhead at Farm Family Practice in Broken. You can cut it, light plastic, easy to wear, and it makes a great underskull for a mini.
They're not bad. I don't like the amount of padding you have to do for those. I've seen that technique before. I just don't like the amount of padding. This is a latex mask with an EVA foam cap on it, and the horns are EVA. This is so lightweight. That is what is lovely about them, is that it's so lightweight. I used to do Minotaurs with real horns and heavy. It's heavy. Looks good, but heavy. We mounted them on baseball helmets. But they were a nice tight-fitting helmet and built the mask around that. Bless you, wife.
Woo! Okay, yes, lots of padding. Ours was undead, so I used lots of latex and made it out. 1980 says some lace wigs will have rows of strips. Just cut out the strips.
Yes. Yeah, cheap wigs. Cheap wigs are a good way to do that.
Alderod says, I never thought of the silicone. I wish I had. This looks great. Jesse York says, I tried using loose hair the other day. Let's just say it did not go well. That hair is so confusing.
It's way easier. I've done the loose hair too. And it's so tempting because, what? This giant package of hair is $3? That's because you are going to hate working with it. That's why it's cheap. And I'm going to give this a little bit of time while I set up for... Wife, why don't you tell them a story?
Yeah.
I'm going to go investigate that loud arse noise we just
Okay,
heard.
we just had something. We just heard a noise outside that we cannot identify, which means Alan's going to go check.
Wife tells the story.
I'm going to go test her. The flashlight?
Yeah.
Yeah. that was really loud, and it had some tremor to it. Not sure what that was. So, hey dogs, go with Daddy. Go on, go see, go see, go see, go see. So the doggos are going to go with him. I don't know what that was, but there was a loud noise. So we don't have any fireworks or anything tonight that I know of. So anyway, Hopsmas today. Hopsmas today was a lot of fun. We were, like I said, I'm going to post on the Beepers page the stuff that we got, which was, there was some fun stuff. I will say this, Spirit is, we went to a Spirit, it was really nice Spirit. It was nice. Sometimes they're a little, trashed out, which is usually the closer to Halloween it gets. But this Spirit was clean, it was orderly, and it was just, I don't know, it was just nice to to walk around all of the store and hear the sound effects going off and the lights flashing and their animatronics that you could step on the pressure pad and activate, and it was like, oh man, I'm missing Transworld and I'm missing MHC because it's just been a year without them. But we actually found some fun stuff at Spirit. The idea of taking things that are found at like Dollar Tree or thrift store, or in this case Spirit, that is accessible to just about everybody. The Transformation Tuesday that is kind of taking some shape. We found some really cool stuff, so it will be fun. Do you hear anything?
It's Jones.
Jones is on the roof?
Jones jumped up on the roof.
God, that cat. Jonesy's on the roof. And it sounded like, I would say a tremor. It kind of shook the place. That cat doesn't weigh 10 pounds. It's Jonesy. Okay. Back to Minotaurs.
What story did you tell?
I told him about how Spirit was really nice today and how
it was calm.
it was
well laid out.
the sound effects and
Yeah.
the smell of the latex and the foggies. And I was
If you
like,
go in there later in the season, like the shelves are disheveled and there's crap on the floor, a chicken flies by. It's like you're in some kind of Halloween market in Guam. It's terrible. But right now, and if you're actually watching from Guam, I haven't ever been there, but that's kind of my mental, that's a country that might not be that great. But I don't know. If Guam is awesome, tell me. But anyway, yeah, I expect chickens to fly by and all that stuff. Yeah. Guam. Yeah, this guy feels pretty good. All right, so once I get him flocked all in through here.
Okay. Robin Bryan's is the most magical time of the year.
It's the most wonderful.
How much does that cat weigh? Hard Beauty, Jonesy's like probably 10 pounds. He's a medium-sized cat.
Yeah, he's not massive.
He just must have jumped down from something. I don't know. Micro Halloween says Spirit is the Walmart of Halloween stores.
Yeah.
Will this Minotaur have teeth?
Yes, he will have teeth. His teeth are in the mold, and they are not one piece to dry. His teeth are taking forever.
You sounded like Carl. The hair looks great. My Spirit is built like a labyrinth this year. As a rule, I'm not, crazy about Spirit, but it's nice.
Yeah, see, so we live in Quinlan, Texas. All the time I am in Plano, Texas for work, because that's where dark hour is. And then even further, Shannon's in Dallas when she goes to work. So within that radius, there's probably 15 different spirits. So I go to a lot of them. I don't just go to one. One we went to today was very nice.
Martin says this is when you went outside. It's been nice knowing you, Alan. Good old Texans carry.
I have so many swords and stuff in here. It's not even funny.
Yeah. How much do you sell your Bigfoots for? Micro Halloween, did you mean the mask?
Mask or whole costume? Because I have a whole stilt Bigfoot costume for $900, I think it is. I think it's $900. It's on the website. Wait.
That's not.
Bigfoot's not on the website.
The mask is.
I have to talk to my website person,
Hey,
and we'll get that up.
guess what? Guess what? Tomorrow, Rue is here.
Mhm.
You can put stilts on Rue and dress him up, and we can get the pictures done tomorrow.
We have pictures of the Bigfoot
We have
still.
pictures of Bigfoot?
We do. Hello.
Oh, God, what you said. Then, wait a minute.
I don't have a neck, so when I try to do the neck thing, it doesn't work out. It looks like my head is just sliding along my shoulders, woo, woo, one side or the other. I don't have a neck. Not having a neck really limits my dance moves, for the record.
Yes, he is on the website.
For sales,
Yep.
boom, get you a Bigfoot. You're not messing with Sasquatch, you're purchasing a Sasquatch.
Okay, now I'm all lost. I checked out Spirit today too, and I wish they had Krampus and clowning around prop on display. Our Spirit doesn't open until the 24th of September.
That's why your life
My
sucks.
Spirit isn't coming for another 2 weeks. Our Spirit is kind of small. It looks like last year's. There's not much to get excited about this year. Mr. Gatekeeper. I'm so happy to see the Halloween stores open. I heard rumors they weren't. And our locally owned place, Halloween Express, just started unloading trailers too.
Yeah, so I want to go back a comment to there's not much to get excited about this year. Even if they sold the same crap every single year, it's worth getting excited about. Halloween comes once a year, and Halloween is our time. It's the time to get excited. It's the time to, and you know what? If they don't have stuff for you to get excited about, isn't that why you're watching the channel? Isn't that why you immerse yourself in this kind of stuff all over anyway? Because then you can make the stuff that they don't have. I guarantee you they have excellent base materials to make things. So far, I think I've done 2 videos of taking something that I buy from a crummy Halloween store and turning it into something that I believe is awesome. And you can do that too. I'm not special. You can do that too. So maybe they do have the same stuff as last year. You couldn't buy it in January, could you? No. So be excited just that it's here. Be excited that it's here.
Jamie
Sometimes that's enough.
Jamie Baxter says, our time is now.
Our time is now, that's right.
And Howard Godrilla says, we love making our own stuff.
And yes, and one of the things that I don't like about the internet and nerd or fan culture is that, so I am a Masters of the Universe fan, which is a toy line from the 80s. And they just came out with Masters of the Universe Origins figures, which right now are Walmart exclusive. And the, pardon the term, bitching that goes on because, oh, well, I don't like the knees on them, or I don't like, it's a freaking Master of the Universe figure in a regular Walmart store that hasn't happened since the 80s. That's awesome. Who cares if you don't like the knees? Then don't buy them. Maybe there's not a lot to get excited about. Just be excited that it's Halloween. I don't know. I think negativity is just too pervasive. And if you're negative on here, I'm going to yell at you for it. But I'm going to yell at you smiling so that I'm not doubling down on negative. Be happy. It's Halloween. Okay. Just saying.
Mr. Gatekeeper says, agreed. The same stuff at some stores makes me feel like a season. Bruce says, I'm sure it will. You know, I'm always happy to put on costumes. I told him he might get dressed up tomorrow.
I see.
You might get dressed up, Rue. Just roll with it.
I grabbed some steel stick epoxy, and I'm gonna make a nose ring for this Minotaur. I think I'm gonna make a nose ring for this Minotaur.
1980 said no He-Man swords were at Spirit this year.
I did not see one. I haven't seen He-Man swords in a while. If anything, you might get some from the new He-Man stories happening through Kevin Smith. If that costume does well, we'll see. But another aspect of nerd culture is that there's so much that happens. There's so much art. There's so many TV shows and cartoons and things to keep up with that you just get merchandise about certain things, and you don't get you don't get everything. What was I trying to say? Yeah. They don't know who to place their bets on. You know, Fortnite stuff is still really big in Spirit right now. Well, I think Fortnite's kind of on the down low, but they don't have a lot of stuff because they have to kind of monitor those trends. And with the internet and with, you know, how many different TV shows and cartoons does Netflix alone put out every year? You don't know what's going to be hot. There's too many choices to back every single one of them with merchandise. So something has to stick around a little while and maintain popularity before it gets toy representation like they used to. There was a whole line for Clash of the Titans toys, and they made all the toys, and they found out, wait, it's going to be an R movie? Dang, kids can't watch it, so no one bought the toys. So in some ways it's better, but it's also harder to track. I'm sorry, wife, you may now, has that comment moved on? Okay.
I shop for stuff at Spirit, coffee mugs, towels, you know, stuff for my house.
Yes.
1980 says, next year the Target exclusive is the Keldor 2-pack. We did not go to Target.
We didn't go to Target today.
They never have stuff out at. Like,
They're late. They're one of the latest
always
ones to
last.
have their stuff out.
You know, we'll just get to them later. Travis Gardens and Haunted Yard. K&T do some awesome transformations in Spirit props and store props. They are awesome. Harvester of Souls prop was bad A. K&T and do Halloween.
Yeah.
Love them. Love them.
And you know what? It's good base stuff. And then you add is it called Harvester of Souls? The animatronic where it picks up the kid and then the kid shoots fog right into the demon's mouth. It looks like it's sucking its soul out. Way to knock it out of the park, Spirit, man. That's an awesome concept. That's a cool thing. Last year, I think it was the burning zombie was their big deal where he was lit from the inside. They're doing really cool stuff. And making it like mass available. So yeah, you got to do some polish when you get it, but I think they're doing a good job.
Home Depot has some awesome stuff. Linda Forbes says, thank you, Alan, for what you said. Chad says, there's no hoop earrings in the shop. Ruth says, I'm a professional roller. Wait, that sounds bad. Christopher Lazone, as an action figure collector, I do more whining from other collectors about everything figure related.
Yes, you bunch of whiners. They're cool toys. Be happy. And if you're not happy, do what I did. Make your own.
Michael Colehart. Scott says, you have more real swords than me. I just don't believe it.
I have a lot of swords. I
But don't count the axes.
swords and I have axes. I have a lot of weapons.
When Alan starts his positive talks, I quickly lay down on the nearest leather couch, forgetting my childhood.
Yeah, I don't know. Turns out I have opinions. How terrible is that?
HBK Styles. I grew up in the late 80s, and I used to have a He-Man action figure that you squeeze his legs together, his eyes lit up. I wish I still had it, because it's probably worth a few bucks.
I think that was Laser Punch He-Man. That sounds like Laser Punch He-Man.
Found a great werewolf skeleton at Target last year, put hair on him along with flannel jeans.
Yes.
Let's see. John Sheffield. Be excited about Halloween even though there's limited new items because it's how it makes us feel, not what you can add. Bravo, John.
Yeah.
KT New Halloween. Hey guys.
Hello.
KT New Halloween. We turned that Soul Harvester fog prop into a soul-sucking mummy.
Hooray.
I love it.
Soul-sucking mummies are the best mummies.
Love that.
Wife, you're on camera while I put something down to, hold a Minotaur.
Oh, Minotaur. Okay, can you hear the questions I've been saying?
I will be able to in a minute.
Okay. There's a suggestion of the shower holder ring for nose. That might be a little too thick.
I already made one.
He already made one.
I'm done.
It's already done.
All missed it.
Hey, I'm just glad he didn't go and try and raid my jewelry box for an earring. Which has happened. But I would probably not be as upset about that as if he got into the kitchen and took some of my good knives, which has also happened. So let the man make let him make the nose ring. Better than going and digging in my stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no.
Heartbeat says, KT, love what you did with the soul sucker. Let's see. Says, Alan, thank you for the flocking gun suggestion. It's my new favorite tool, says KMT.
Aren't they fun? I want to flock all of things. I want to flock my dog to hold still.
Oh my God. Love the puppies. Thank you, Alagog Gorilla. Alagog Gorilla, my heart. We have 3 puppies. They are ginormous. Can you explain what you're doing here?
I'm setting up to flock.
Flocking time.
I'm gonna make this Minotaur out of its flocking mind. That was a joke.
Limelight. Y'all are just crazy people in Florida for Labor Day. Rescue me. I'll bet. I will bet, Limelight.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about a virus spike. We'll see what happens.
Jesse York. I have no idea what flocking is, but I'm thinking I'm about to learn.
Things are about to get hairy.
James Stevenson. Me and the kids made some dragon scales today, and they love them. And thanks for all the great comments on the Creepers page. Ooh, we'll check that out.
Nose ring.
Did you see the dragon scales?
No, not yet.
Drew Newman. Careful on saying you want to flock the dogs out.
Look, it's enunciate, man. You've got to enunciate.
It's really fun. Do you already have an actor for the Minotaur, or do you make it a generic size? And if you have one, how tall will the complete creature be?
Well, you're asking not me because it's not my Minotaur.
Hang on a second.
It's a lovely Minotaur.
I'll fix that.
What are you fixing?
Not to be time.
It's my flocking gun. This thing really fun.
Alagog Gorilla, I just tagged you on a comment that the person who this is going to is actually listening.
Yes, they're
So
here.
this is actually an order, so she can answer how big the actor is. Barry Haynes is fixing the flock. Are you going to rust up the ring?
I'm gonna probably make it like gold, but I'm not sure yet. Probably would not make it rusty. I don't think that would be comfortable. You know what? I might make it like it's a copper ring because that was very popular metal at the time. And then we could do a green patina on it. One day you'll find it, a sweet green patina.
Limelight talking about Florida says, are you watching Guest allegedly for another guest? No alleged gun. That was yesterday night.
Wow.
Crazy. Michelle says, the actor is pretty beefy, about 6'4", but I'm going to look at the piece of joints.
I feel beefy.
Patina away from the nostrils. I like the idea of the copper. My sister wants to know where you got your shirt. She loves Bigfoot. Joanne! Hi, Joanne.
I got this from a friend in the mail who knew that I would enjoy it. I was tagged in this, Warren tagged me in this shirt, if you recall, many, many months ago. But I did not get it for myself, but someone else got it for me because they are nice.
Where do you get your flocking fibers?
I get my flocking at www.flockingbiz.com. www.flockingbiz.com.
You mentioned you bought multiple flocking guns. Try them all. Is this your favorite? Does this make longer flocking?
This is, so the flocking, you buy at a certain length, all right? And what I have bought mostly is 6mm flocking. I have some 8mm flocking, but it's actually really hard to apply flocking that is any longer than 8 millimeters or so.
Where do you find fursuit for people under 5 foot?
Most, like, there's very few commercial fursuits, but you can, hold on a second, I'm opening a bag, and that apparently takes all of my concentration. Most of them you make your own. We have some that we can modify. It all depends on what you're doing with it. So the flocking is kind of like wadded up, and I break it up a little bit.
Show inside the gun.
I will.
Ooh, flocking. It's lovely. Magical flocking hypnosis.
Okay. It looks kind of like horse poop, but smaller than horse poop. Way more awesome. I need glue.
Your favorite creation of all time?
My Wolfman costume. You know what? No. I'm going to go back in time. Boy, such a tough thing. Here's my standard answer. What's my favorite creation? My next one. It's my next one. Because if I'm not getting better every time, if I'm not learning something every time, if I'm not exploring further down my consciousness every time to make something, then I feel I'm failing just a little bit. So, yeah. A little bit of PVA glue. I'll put a little bit of water in there, then a little bit of paint.
Where do you keep your flocking gun? In a flocking box. I've never seen this done. It's so interesting.
I too think it's interesting. Okay, just put a little bit of color in here, a little bit of water, because I just want to thin this glue down a little bit. Paintbrush. Okay, I want to go a little darker with this color.
They used to flock grass on train layouts for model train sets back in the day.
Yep. Yes, and a lot of times you can find them, and they're called static grass applicators. But that's what they're talking about, is train sets.
Is the glue contact strength?
No, it's PVA glue. It's PVA glue. I'm using Aleene's khaki glue. Eileen's khaki glue. I'm not pouring directly from the bottle, I'm pouring into the cap. That way if I pour out too much, it doesn't go into my mix.
I also used in miniatures like 28mm D&D scale sets.
Yep.
I watched a weird collection of videos to chill out and watching horror movies or after a stressful workday. And watching close-ups of miniatures being flocked is just so satisfying.
Yes.
That's my, okay, there it is. Okay, last time I flocked, it was a wood shop project, wooden napkin holders and salt and pepper.
Okay. Yeah, it's very common in like jewelry box interiors. Flocking is flocking wonderful. Now I'm going to flock this whole thing, but the camera's only going to be pointed at part of it. Now I have a little bit of color in here, but in general, this is going to dry clear. The glue dries clear. The flocking won't be clear. You actually, one of the things, you have to get, the right color flocking.
Finally got to see the cage build YouTube Wednesday. What an awesome project.
Hey, thanks.
Oh, Finn. Ah. Name it Pat Minotaur. I know, that was worse than one of 1980s comments. That's pretty bad, Finn. Gregory Haynes, Alan, please explain how you choose where to place the clip.
I just stab it somewhere where the current is going to be kind of close. That's what I do. And you can see possibly now why I might not want the teeth on right now. If I got glue onto the teeth, well, they would get flopped.
I feel victimized.
You should. I don't know how you became the standard for bad comments on the channel.
John C's pretty bad too.
I'm not saying I don't support that decision, but there should at least have been like a bad comment off between John C., Ross, and 1980. Again, the PVA glue dries pretty clear.
Do you regret spending all that time painting the mask? End up covering 95% of it there.
No, because what if I wanted that paint under there and then I didn't do it? I hadn't done it. Well, so the clip, I clip to a T-pin, and I'm going to shove that T-pin right in here underneath, because this wire is long enough I can get everything. Turn it on. That light is the only way you know it's on.
1980 says, I had a good day till now.
Sorry, 1980. I'm sorry you were so victimized here.
Hello, Artsy Dude. You know Chuck Jorman from Vallejo, California. He makes some fun creatures.
I don't know that I do. And I'll go back in and I'm going to airbrush this also. So not only does this get flocked, but I can airbrush to blend this in.
You guys see that? I'm gonna move it a little closer here. I'm gonna try and get it close. Can you guys see?
You're just on this.
Well, I wanted to be able to see the texture on the
Grab the phone, turn around.
mask.
Take it off of there, turn it
Oh, yeah,
around.
you can see it. You can see it. A little bit closer. That's really cool. Okay. Yeah, that's it.
And basically, as long as there is glue left, and those hairs can get in there to that glue, you know, you just keep flocking.
Is that just static making it come out and go to the mask?
The there's a 9-volt battery here in the flocking gun, and then there is a negative ion generator in the flocking gun, and that, as it passes through, it gets a positive. They attract.
Wow. Okay, what does the clip do?
The clip helps give this a charge.
Goat is reminding me kind of Calabos. Calabos to me.
Well, this is a bull now. He has, I'll be honest, putting the goatee on him made him a little more goat-like than I would like for him to be. I'm gonna turn this off real quick. I'm gonna go grab more flocking.
Is that a new flocker? I think I remember the one that you had for the goat did not have a light. Is that a new flocker?
I did not have the light turned on.
So that's really cool. I have only seen flocking on landscape dioramas.
Yes, where they make it look like grass.
You want either a mottled or brindle effect. You might do different colors or lengths.
Yes.
Lisa Bordier says, wow, I want one. So cool. How much of the hair doesn't end up sticking to the wood?
About 50%. About 50%. That's why you want a glue underneath that's roughly the same color.
Hey, Michael Lester.
Okay. I feel flocked.
Hey, cobwebs.
So now what I'm going to do,
Blind Mice says, okay, how many of you were turning your heads to watch this like I was? That looks so nice.
put him
Oh,
over
look,
here.
he's so handsome. Oh, I love him.
You say he was handsome.
I did.
You have problems,
I
wife.
do.
You married me.
No.
That's the first amongst your problems.
Wow. Have you ever trimmed fur on a mask with an electric hair trimmer?
Yes.
Lisa says, I agree, beautiful. It's beautiful.
And what I'm doing now is I'm using the brush to kind of train the direction of the fur so it's going the way that I want it to. I don't just want the hair to go willy-nilly in all directions. It looks a little silly if it just stands straight up. So I am training the whirl, W-H-O-R-L, of the hair.
But the 50% that doesn't stick to it, you just keep it up and reuse it.
In theory, and they actually have flocking reclamation chambers, but in practice, I don't have one of those.
Michelle says he looks amazing. OMG. Can't wait to meet him. Leonidas Sparta. That looks amazing.
Hey, thanks. Amazing. That was a Minotaur pun.
Oh, I didn't mean to.
Yeah. You got one by the wife.
Boy, that really includes the whole thing.
Yeah, he's completely different now, isn't he? Like, he's way changed. And first, like, it almost looks like you can see through it because of the light bouncing on it. But he's way more covered in person than he is on camera.
Walking amazing.
See all the little hairs coming off of him?
Walking makes a huge difference.
Yes. I'm also using the air to train that hair the way I want it to go. That's a sexy Minotaur. Okay,
And
yes.
1980 has recovered from feeling victimized. Yet he says, what do you do if there is an invisible cow? Steer clear. How long does it take the glue to set up?
How long does it take the glue to set up? Well, if it weren't stupid humid, about 15-20 minutes. But right now, I'm going to work on his nose ring over here. We're going to paint the nose ring, get the nose ring ready. And I'm probably going to get the epoxy clay back out and put a band on the horn. But first, let's look at some reference.
The air trains the hair.
Yeah.
What is this piece going to be used for?
It's going to be used to scare people in a haunted house. So what is the, okay, so up there, no problem.
Finn, see what I meant? LOL 1980. I know Finn. He's still the champ.
Okay. There are 700 people following my Minotaur board.
Okay. Joanne, I have to find a Bigfoot shirt somewhere to Alan's for my sister. Oh, thank you, Michelle. We both wrote it.
Who be right?
Leonidas Sparta was asking about this, and we both wrote and explained that he was going to be in a maze. Kansas
Oh.
looking good. I fought the Minotaur today. What? Rue
And-
wants-
Go ahead.
what time do you want Rue to be here?
Rue, I would like you here at 11 a.m. The crack of 11 a.m. See how this Minotaur, he's shirtless, but he has a pouch on over his shoulder, big wide leather belt, leather loincloth. That's kind of what I would do costume-wise. And amazingly, none of the Minotaurs that I picked for this have, one has a nose ring, but none have anything on their horns. So now I'm going to put in Taurin, which is a WoW class. The type of figure. I don't know why I'm getting lady pictures. Taurin, wow, that's what I want. Because these guys are super decorated. He's got earrings. This one has a band on this horn, on one horn. I was thinking about bands on the horns and tips. What do you think about that? This one has, well, you know what? There are rings up here towards the front. Yeah, we're going to do these rings up here. We'll do that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's awesome. Any health concerns with loose flocking other than feeling like you've been nuzzling your cat anyway?
No, because I'm blowing them off with the air, so and I'll blow a little more aggressively once the PVA glue dries.
In Dragonlance, some Minotaurs drill out their horns and have rings through them.
Yes.
Do you play WoW?
I have played WoW in the past, but honestly, it felt a little bit too much like work, so it wasn't relaxing.
Tribal, feather, bones, etc. Oh, 1980. Michelle says Alan has creative freedom, so whatever he wants to go with is fine. Michael Lasker. I like the bands, but the tips somehow make it seem less threatening.
Yeah, and I'm going to do rings up towards, like little bands up towards the tip, but I'm going to leave the tips open. Okay. All right, I've seen enough.
He says, in my defense, I would never name a cow Pat.
Yeah, see this guy, he has a little band up here, and I like that.
So that's what we're
could
gonna
have
do.
been self-conscious and made like every other high-class creature. Yeah, 89 people watching.
Hooray, 89 people. So you're going to watch me make some Minotaur jewelry?
This is exactly what Pinterest was made for.
Yeah. This episode is called Dude Pimp My Minotaur.
Love you some Pinterest.
I do.
Pin like a soccer mom.
Yeah, I pin more than soccer moms. Soccer moms got nothing for pinning on me. And this is the steel stick epoxy. It's clay, and it's going to turn rock hard here very shortly. You just mix it up. And it takes about 5 minutes, so have a plan for what you're doing. I pretty much made my whole Beastman action figure with this. Have a plan for how you're going to use it, because you don't have time to think once you mix it. It's also kind of warm here in Texas, so that 5 minutes becomes 4 minutes. And you have to mix the two clays up. See how it's kind of banded right now in color? See those stripes in it? I want it to be all one color.
Do Minotaurs wear earrings?
Some Minotaurs wear earrings.
How about braided hair decorated?
Yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do some beads in his beard too. Oh yeah. Making the Minotaur sexy.
Alan, do you plan to darken the horns?
I don't know. I know I'm darkening the hair on the face a little bit with the airbrush, so I don't know if that's going to turn into a full Minotaur horn darkening. I want the horns to stand out. This is going to be used in low light conditions, so I don't want it to be too dark. So all I'm doing now is I'm putting down this base layer for this horn decoration. And then this, I will turn into the edge for the horn decoration.
Backlit silhouette would be awesome.
It is all about silhouette. Also, if actors are staying 6 feet away this year, then your silhouette is going to be even more important because they're going to see more of you.
Are you going to use beads that rob them?
No, because I don't have any of those.
Do the horn rings signify anything, or they just cover later?
They signify looking awesome. Sometimes that's enough.
Really like the horns that color. This is my first time seeing you live. I'm trying to think of how I heard about you. Maybe from Artists Colette? Is that somebody that you know?
I don't know.
Alan has his reference pics on Pinterest, correct?
I have a whole Minotaur board on Pinterest. That's correct. And I had this board before I got this commission simply because I was going to make one for me to wear around the house.
Hollow.
Who?
Grimwood Hollow.
Hello,
Hello
Grimwood Hollow.
to you. Thank you, Finn. Finn says, thumbs up, folks. This is a great build. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you.
He is doing awesome. 85 people are watching.
I'm on my second piece of epoxy here, and that was all that was in that tube, but I have more. There is a Gorilla Glue brand of this epoxy putty, and I actually don't like it as much as I like this steel stick, and it's about $2 more a piece. I tried them. They're the same enough where I'm not going to pay the extra. This here I happened to buy at Harbor Freight. You can buy it other places though.
Oh, Michelle. She just gave us 20. Thank you, Michelle. My goodness. I was checking out your Pinterest the other day. How many boards do you have? I looked for a while, but I never made it to the end.
I have about 80 different boards.
Thank you, Michelle.
It's a good way to organize thoughts. And if I have something in my brain, I'll make a board real quick and then boom, 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 boom. Pin like 30 things to it and then step away.
We just got a Harbor Freight in my town. Awesome. I was one of the first to get in there. I've watched too many of your videos.
Yeah, isn't it great? What a wonderful store. Harbor Freight. Think they're really great. Harbor Freight. Better than chocolate cake. Oh, no, okay, maybe not better than chocolate cake, but you know, that was
Minotaur is looking great.
a little bit of hyperbole.
Cobwebs just gave us 20, backing up Michelle. Guys, thank you.
It's very kind of y'all.
Goodness, guys. Cobwebs, have you unboxed your mum rod yet? Did I miss that?
Did you get it and you're unhappy and then you don't want to say anything? Because I'll fix it.
Tell you what, Cobwebs believes in the holiday Christmas because he will get something and he will not open it, no matter how excited he is.
Not me.
And I don't know.
I open most packages before I get back from the mailbox. Sometimes with my teeth. Because I am excited.
Bruce says sometimes.
Most of the time.
Tomorrow, Cobweb says. Not a problem. We enjoy your videos. You do what you gotta do. Did I miss you telling us what you were doing with the white nose and the strips under the mouth? Did I miss you telling us what you were doing with the white nose and the strip under
The nose is actually flesh colored, but you're getting a lot of light bounce. I have a light like right over top. So it's actually a flesh colored nose. And when I airbrush, I'm going to look at more reference and see if that nose ought to be darker. If it's darker on most bulls or if it's darker on most minotaurs, then I'm going to go ahead and darken it up.
Harbor Freight has 5-gallon buckets now for a little over $3. With a coupon, an even better deal.
I'm a little conservative on my color. I tend to go lighter especially when I know I'm going to airbrush to blend in. Because, I've got like 20 different browns on this. But airbrushing in brown is going to help me make it different.
Ordering by mail order, having a really bad memory is great. When the package arrives, it's like Christmas, 'cause I can't remember what I ordered.
Yeah.
Line Cook says, I couldn't get out of the car fast enough to open my whiplash mask. Thanks so much, still peace for our daily mustard fix. We all give us cheers, says Brynwood Hall.
Well, thank you. I'll be honest with you. 2 days this week, I've been like, man, I am tired. I don't, And then I come out here and I go live, and you guys just give me energy back, and that's really nice. All right, so both of the horn decor rings are done, and I have a little bit left here. So he is going to get one earring. Cheney, it's okay, buddy.
Oh, Ronnie just gave us 10. Thanks for the mustard fix.
Hashtag monster fix.
Hang in there, cobwebs. And 2 funerals this week.
That is terrible. Very sorry to hear that.
Gregory Haynes, I'm really impressed with the variance of the hair links, blocking from the head and sides and neck. Take it to a professional level for sure.
Well, thanks.
I will bump this year because the whole COVID thing keeping my haunt from opening the season. But hey, I still get excited. It gives me a whole year to get next season.
What haunters ask for every year is more time. We ask for more time every single year. Man, if I only had more time. This year has given those haunters more time. Next year, I better see some awesome stuff. What I got to say about that. This, hard. That's a hard ring now. This is the one I made a little while ago. That is a very durable Minotaur nose ring. And this is Liquid Leaf, which is my favorite gold paint.
Okay, Finn, they are on their way to you, so you can track them. For Halloween, I want to build a giant nose. Have my legs come out of the nostrils along with long snot-like water balloons. Also, I have a sweatband top part of the nose, a running nose. That's from Hella Artsy G.
You are weird. That's what I say about that. Okay, so let's get that side painted. This is still stiffening up.
Joanne says Halloween should be at least 4 weeks. Oh, Joanne, I think the best price, what's the best price skeleton she asked us for? It was Home Depot and Lowe's.
Yeah, Home Depot and Lowe's have the best price.
That's what we found today, Joanne. Those were the best prices. I've been super lucky and I've always had enough time. I always say if I only had more money, haunted isn't cheap. Linda says next year it will be as if I had more money because the time issue has been.
Yes. See?
Your stuff is always useful for us indie filmmakers as well. Thank you.
Oh, very cool.
Why did you not use EVA foam for the nose ring?
You didn't mention it. I just, I think I want it to be firm. I think I want it to be a little harder. boy, remember everything is taking a while to dry. Boy. Now, this epoxy clay, this dries with a chemical reaction. So me painting over it isn't going to stop it from getting firm. It's not like drying out in the air. It's we mix the two chemicals together, so it's happening. I'm just painting enough of this side so that when this dries, I can flip it and paint the other side.
Bruce says, don't, not all piercing rings are for circles, by the way. Don't forget curved barbells too. Now look over the nose.
I'm going to slit the nose and put the ring through and then reglue it with contact cement. This contact cement is powerful.
That was not a dumb question.
No, not at all. Yep, I made
What
a.
has the best, other than Spirit Skeleton, which is standard for how many dollars is Spirit? Is that true?
Yes.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, 80 to 90 bucks for a skeleton and spirit.
No idea. Is that much Spirit? I need to look.
I looked.
I did not.
Normally they're 85. I'm going to paint these the same gold, and then I'll do a brown wax on them to age them. I like how wherever I put you, I'm always painting on the other side of something. Just being mean. Yeah, I saw some of the barbell type piercings on some of those Minotaurs. I'm going to keep this fairly simple. I also want to keep it pretty simple to stay in the Minotaur.
Chad said, for what I do with skeletons, I just get the cheap ones. The head really looks good, especially at a 10-foot distance. My clientele would be crawling over each other to get away from them.
Hooray!
Masato says Home Depot has nice skeletons for 32, and we saw them at Lowe's today, Masato, for 29.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a little, the Big Lots have their skeletons out. Did Big Lots have skeletons out? We didn't have Big Lots.
We've not hit big lots yet.
No, we did a couple of, last week, didn't we?
We hit one last week, but they didn't have all their stuff out.
Stores.
We hit them early.
So, antiquing the body jewelry.
Yes, I will. With brown wax. And this epoxy clay is pretty dang adhesive, so you don't have to worry too much about it staying on there or whatever. Great shot of my hand you're getting, right? Fat hand.
What's that gorilla over your head there on the top shelf, nice one?
Hapcha!
Bless you.
Thanks.
Lord.
I sneezed. I don't have a gorilla in here. I don't think anyone's done a Planet of the Apes themed haunted
Like
house.
this, I'm awake.
Sorry.
Guys, the loudest sneeze. Thought you were doing karate.
Shannon could do story time on my sneezes alone.
Alan, that flocking was so real from here. Oh wait, never mind.
Yes, that was my beard.
Will he get goat teeth?
No, he's going to get Minotaur teeth, like he's got his own teeth. Wife,
Yeah.
you have time for a 30-second story?
Yep. Okay. Oh my goodness. So Alan just heard him sneeze. That was reserved. That was reserved. The man has the loudest sneeze I've ever heard. So one day we are walking through Walgreens and he just rips out a sneeze. No warning, no nothing. And there's about a 90-year-old lady who's walking by, and he sneezed and scared her so bad that she clutched her chest and doubled over, and we thought that he killed her, but it was, he just scared her so bad she just clutched her chest. The next week, we were at a different store. He let out a sneeze, and there's a man on a ladder, and he sneezed and scared the man on the ladder so bad the man fell off the ladder. The man was not hurt. It's not a huge ladder, but that was like twice, and finally I had to have a talk with him. He said, "You have the loudest sneeze I have ever heard." So we're in an airplane. we're in an airplane, and you're just packed in. It's pre-COVID. You are packed in on an airplane, and he's leaning over to me. I'm about to sneeze. I'm like, "Oh dear God, not now. You can't sneeze in a plane. You'll kill people." And he repressed it, which was good, but the loudest sneeze I have ever heard. So yeah, he nearly did kill that old lady in the pharmacy. And he did knock a guy off of a ladder.
Maybe she was a bad person.
She was
That
not a bad
sneeze of
person.
Justice.
You almost killed her. So there you go. That's the true thing. Crazy, crazy sneeze. Okay, you're good. Go. We got stuff to do. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not holding out hope on these teeth being dry. This is the part where you're literally watching paint dry.
I'm talking about a gorilla over my head. Behind me somewhere? There's no gorilla back there.
Oh, there's a little King Kong up there. There's a King Kong toy up on one of my shelves of Happy.
How do you use, what did you use to make the teeth?
I did a sculpt in clay. I made a plaster mold, and I filled that mold with latex. So the teeth will be latex, and they'll glue in.
Chauncey, where were your epoxy handling gloves for massaging a digital cycle full of bicycle? Oh, whatever. Can't do it, John. Let's know why you weren't wearing gloves.
Oh, so the skin, your skin refreshes itself every 7 days. So that skin's going to be gone in 7 days.
Is the small ring an earring?
Yes, it'll be an earring.
Limelight says, I have a good friend who has to sneeze at least 15 times in a row, and he will leave the room until he's finished.
Wow, that's courteous.
Linda, listening to all you talk about these places to buy Halloween stuff makes me jealous. We have Walmart. All those other places are 3 hours from me. Linda, we had to drive well over an hour to get to these places.
Yeah.
We did not, these weren't close. There's nothing close to
Yeah,
us.
we just drive.
We had to drive, and we were a good hour and a half away at one point. So we drove. There's nothing here. We don't have anything near us. So we drive too. Make a trip. We just made a trip of it, the day of it. It's the only day we get to do it, once a year, so it's not
Yeah.
something we could do. We made an afternoon of it, and it's the only one we get. And then we came home and we came to the shop to work. So there you go. Don't let distance keep you guys from doing it.
Okay, everything that needs to be gold is gold. While that's drying, let's prep the airbrush, and we're gonna airbrush the snot out of the sky.
Hi, Rodney. Back in the 80s, early haunting experience made up my face to look like Freddy Krueger. Someone used my brush for paint, and the makeup remained on me for almost 2 weeks.
Good times.
Hi, Horror Beauty.
Good night, horror beauty.
Alan, did you find out what was in the yard making the noise at night?
Nope, haven't yet. This is that magenta color from yesterday. I'm going to reinforce that around the eyes.
Sasquatch.
Probably Sasquatch.
Gregory Yates says that he's thinking of a dark, wet, glossy nose.
Putting some color in the ears. There we go. And now I'm done with this magenta color.
Is there a way to make teeth with a hard interior?
Sure. I could sculpt them out of the epoxy clay that you just saw me make the horns and other stuff out of. B, I could also sculpt them, mold them with silicone, and then make resin teeth like I do for hammer time masks. I actually have some resin teeth I can pull out of mold and show you right over here.
Sato says, it's so awesome to share this time with you guys. Thanks for letting us into the shop to watch you work day after day.
Silicone mold made from silicone caulking. I have a video on that. And inside is a set of shark's teeth for the hammer time mask.
Right from Sato.
Thank you, Masato. Yes. Masato's awesome. All right. So yeah, so that's another option. Those type of teeth. But now I have to get that magenta color out of the airbrush. Let's just shoot this so it's clear. Well, it's in my business.
Dark wet nose.
Well, as I airbrush, things will happen. Yeah, probably. His nose will definitely be very wet. There's flocking everywhere over here. Like all these caps have hair on them. It's so gross.
So magenta around the eyes would look nice as well.
Yep, just did that.
Ben says, Boris has the wet nose, right?
Well, Bella is just always wet. Bella's all wet all the time. Hello. I don't know what happened. I was just cleaning the airbrush. You back? White? See, Masato said something nice. Internet went out. How it goes. All right. Let's go with a nice dark brown, the burrow brown. I'm actually going to put a little bit of black in this too. So right now I'm mixing colors in the airbrush. Where I'm using Pinata ink, alcohol-based ink. I'm adding Mantilla black to burrow brown.
You have the tips of the horns bloody.
No, I will not bloody the tips of the horns. Unless I'm asked to do so. Okay, happy with that. And I feel I need to move him. So I'm kind of right under that light. So bright.
Michelle said, I don't know if he's going to bloody him or not. I'm letting Alan finish it until he thinks it's best.
I will probably not bloody him. I don't think that that's going to be, I think he'll lose. I'll pull the class out of classic if I do that. And Minotaurs are certainly classic monsters. So I'm going to leave him fairly clean as far as blood goes. Okay, I should be able to see a little better now. The brighter light makes stronger shadows. So when you're right under it, ooh.
I love how the detail of the cheek and jaw comes through the flocking.
Oh yeah, because the flocking is just so thin. Knock that lip down too, because that lip is so flesh colored. Darken that nose up some.
I haven't gotten into airbrush yet. What do you recommend to begin with?
A Pache H and a Harbor Freight quick change airbrush. They're about $10, the Harbor Freight. toning down a few of these little blonde streaks. They're a little too blonde for me. And that was my basic coloring of the hair. Now I'm going to go with more black. I'm just going to add black to this and darken it up. Produce a little more shading. Putting my finger over the tip of the airbrush, causing it to bubble, and that is mixing those colors together.
Are you going to black out the nose?
Probably not black. I did just darken the nose quite a bit. I don't know that I'll go black.
What do they, bigger bottles of ink were in price wise?
These are about $12 or so a bottle. Yeah, I like this. I'm darkening him quite a bit, and I'm just liking the way that looks. You can see I'm airbrushing right over top of that flock, and the flock has taken the airbrush. Yeah, that nose looks really good dark. I'll leave the lip a little lighter. And I'm going to carry some of this darker color into this hair a little bit more. Okay. Hi, everybody.
I just keep thinking about how cool it would be to rig up a vape inside the nose and blow smoke out of the nostrils. Well, then lights goes, ow, 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 ow. Is that freaking you guys out?
Okay, and I cut it the way that I cut it to give myself the most possible surface area to glue it back down. cutting it at that angle, I've got a good surface to glue on. These scissors were given to me by Rodney Pope. I greatly appreciate them.
No bachelor, I think that's how they test for COVID.
Yeah,
Gross.
definitely.
A haunt, I can picture a Minotaur statue blowing smoke out its nose, fire around it. Good night, Gregory. Alan makes it look so real and then cuts into it. I expect it to bleed.
Well, that's very kind.
The Minotaur kind of reminds me of the ones in the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Really awesome. Good choice for sure.
Those were several of my references. I will take it. Grabbing some contact cement. Contact cement and an acid brush.
Under this bright light is very film worthy.
Thanks.
Add the film with the ring.
Yeah, I'll be wrapping up very shortly. I'm going to grab the brown wax. I'm going to wax up these items. These guys, this guy. I am liking how he's looking. Earring is on. This is a metal wax, is what they call this. It is from a company called Sculpt Nouveau, which makes specialty paint products mostly. I really like this stuff for aging, and I love the way it smells. You want to smell it? I'm gonna say something that it smells like, and you'll say, well, that doesn't smell good. It smells a bit like kerosene.
Why do you like the way it smells?
I don't know, I just like the smells.
It smells shoe polish.
It smells like shoe polish. There you go. Could be that they're selling me shoe polish. Maybe some testing is in order.
Good.
And I just put on, a good bit of it.
Good night, cobwebs. Get some rest.
Yeah, rest up, brother.
Hope things are better for you this weekend and you get a little peace of mind. You guys take care of yourself.
So I think the Minotaur, would have stain on the jewelry itself, but also the horn, right around it is going to have some staining from, that's a solid thing. And some residue is going to sit there.
Good night, Grimwood Hollow.
We're going to let that sit there a bit. We'll do this one. I'll be removing some of this stain, but some will stay.
Good night, Ken Zarish.
It's a wax. Call it a stain, but really it's a wax. Okay. Nose is not dry yet. We'll let that dry. A little bit of stain around the earring. Just so the metal looks a little discolored. I don't think the metal would look its best, you know. I'm not saying that Minotaurs are gross, but maybe they don't take as good a care of their stuff as wool Minotaurs do.
I'm getting close to molding my skull. It's going to be a bit nerve-wracking. It will be my first full mask, 2-part mold, says Chaz.
Well, those are nerve-wracking. Scary as heck. Enjoy.
Currently watching Japan, and it's early afternoon, so it's kind of funny to see everyone saying goodnight.
Yeah, that happens.
Hello in Japan.
So now I'm just hitting with this cloth, and it's going to get it off of the easy to clean up areas, but it won't get it out of like the deep spots and stuff. So you get this great tarnish on these.
Do you go over the wax with a set, or does it dry on its own?
It dries on its own. Doesn't take too long to dry. It's really nice. I've been using it on a lot of teeth lately. I guess that's zoomed out. Now, with contact cement, you sort of have one chance. You got one opportunity. If I do any more of that song, it'd be dangerous.
Hi, Bill Bachelor. Hi, dear. Chad says, geez, people dropping like flies.
Well, what time is it?
It's 11:05.
Oh, it's 11 o'clock, Chad. Take a break. All right.
Jill says it just looks amazing.
Hey, thank you. I'm happy with it. I think the teeth are gonna like bring it up a couple more levels.
It's still not dry.
What?
Teeth are still not dry.
No, they're not dry enough to put on tonight. And now I'll use the airbrush again in order to just touch up around the ring and stuff. think that is a painted and haired Minotaur. He needs teeth. I'll get his teeth tomorrow. I think I'm going to do some beads in the beard. I'll do that tomorrow also. I don't know if I'll go live with him tomorrow. I have a couple other projects tomorrow to go live with. Yeah. But anyway, guys, thank you for hanging out with us. Here is the Minotaur. And you're really getting a gold pop off of that nose ring right now because, again, we're right under the light. I think I want to darken up that nose ring. I don't like it that bright. I think it's too bright. I think it's distracting.
Love it, it's great, love how it's turning out, color in the hair is awesome, fantastic, it's great. Let's see, believe it or not, this was my first live chat interaction, it was a blast, the Minotaur was amazing, good night, all stay safe.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the live chat. But that's the Minotaur as he stands right now, and he'll be finished up tomorrow. So you guys are awesome, and thanks for hanging out. Wife back there, they can see you. Say good night.
Good night.
And I say good night. And I also say, go make stuff, guys.